Are you thinking about moving to the US and have ever wondered how much does it actually cost to live here? We all know that there are big differences between the north and the east and south and the west, and depending on if you live in a city or in the suburbs and in which city. I can only tell you today what we experienced here as a German family of four. We moved here a year ago, and in this video I would like to make a little breakdown on how much we actually spent here on the biggest chunks like rent and childcare and everything, and I will work my way down to the smaller expenses, and by the end we will see how much we actually spend as a family of four living a kind of minimalistic lifestyle here in the US. And let me know if you're surprised by the numbers. Please type all your numbers down in the comments. I love to compare the numbers, how much other people spend in different areas, and let's discuss. So just a quick side note, you might have noticed that I started this channel in German, but now I'm switching to English, and this has several reasons. So I just thought to myself, do I really want to limit the message I want to send here to only German speaking people? And because I really want to extend the kind of topics in my videos, especially to topics like smartphone consumption and how to live more intentional. And I would really like to discuss that with more people than just German people, and just like to extend the cultural backgrounds from the people I can discuss with. I hope you can understand me. If not, if my accent is too strong, or if you say, wow, Ute, I cannot understand a single word you say, then please type it in the comments and I will switch back to German. Wenn du kein Englisch kannst, kannst du immer die Subtitles anmachen und dann trotzdem zuhören. Das geht bei YouTube zum Glück sehr einfach. So if you think, okay, Uta should really not speak English in her videos, just let me know, okay? Okay, let's start with the biggest chunk, and that is housing. So right now we are spending $3,195 on a 3-bedroom house with approximately 200 square meters. That's 2,400 something square feet. A good size for us, but the layout from this house doesn't really work out for us. So we will be moving to another house, which will cost us $3,500. It's going to be a little bit bigger, 10 square meters or something, but the layout is going to be a little bit different. So we will have 4 bedrooms. We are approximately 20 minutes from the city center. So we are in a suburb. We have a garden. We live in a secured neighborhood. So I'm just giving you all the details so that you can compare to your situation. You could definitely live way cheaper here. So I would say if you want to have a 200 square meter house for a family of 4 somewhere else around the city, you could easily find a house for $2,000. So for us, it was very important to have a big yard and to be able to set up a swing and a sandbox and everything for the kids. We also have a cat, so we needed a calm area where she could go outside. But I think it really depends on your priorities and where you want to live, what you really have to spend. And next up is childcare. Before our oldest son entered the public school, we paid $2,650 per month for childcare for both our children. They had 7 or 8 hours of care. But since my older son is now going to public school, the cost of childcare reduced to about $1,000 for our youngest son. Most of the childcares here have longer opening hours, so we could have easily put them in childcare for 10 hours or 11 hours, but that's not what I wanted to do. In Germany, we paid 280 euros for our sons until they turn 3. After 3, childcare is free. So this is really a huge amount of money here in comparison to Germany. We are very lucky that my husband's employer is covering the childcare costs. But otherwise, if you are on your own here and you have to cover the childcare costs on your own, I can totally understand that a lot of people here homeschool and don't send their children to childcare because it's super expensive. So the next biggest expense is groceries and eating out. We spend an average, I would say, between $700 and $900 a month, which is in comparison to Germany a lot. In Germany, we had access to food sharing. I actually did a food sharing center myself. We had it at our farm at home, and we had a vegetable garden and a greenhouse and everything. So we were able to harvest a lot of crops for ourselves. In Germany, we spent approximately 250 euros, which is like $320. In Germany, we didn't go out to eat as often because we lived in a more rural area, and now we live more in the city center or closer to the city center and have a lot more options. And we go on a lot more trips to discover the country. So in the end, our expenses tripled. And I have to say, if I would still buy the same quality as I did in Germany, so in Germany I used to buy organic stuff or mostly organic stuff. If I would transfer this quality to here, I would probably pay a lot more. So we pay more, but also get less quality for what we pay here. And on top, the state in which we are living, which is South Carolina, is known for its low cost of living. So in other states, it might be even higher. Our utilities run around $350 a month. So this includes the electricity bill. Most of our electricity bill is because of the AC. When I moved here, I thought, okay, it needs an AC, but in this state, it's getting freaking hot and we need the AC. But we keep it pretty high, like we keep it on 25 degrees, which is like 76, 78 Fahrenheit. And this is pretty high for the average American here, at least for my friends here. If I would transfer the amount of electricity we need here for AC and everything to Germany, it would be like 600 euros per month only for electricity. Our internet and phone bills are about $19 a month, so we pay $50 for our internet and Wi-Fi here at home, and then $15 or $20 each for our cell phone activities. This is pretty much what we paid in Germany as well, so I think there's not a big difference in that. So our kids' swimming classes and sports classes come around $200 a month, approximately, maybe a little bit more, like $230. And this is a lot in comparison to Germany. In Germany, we paid 15 euros for the whole year, not per month, for sports membership for our children. And this is usually pretty cheap in Germany when you just want to do soccer, basketball, or something like that for the kids. And also swimming lessons are way less. If anybody has some recommendations for me where to look for cheaper children's activities, I would be very thankful. Our gym membership here costs around $85. It's the same amount that we paid in Germany. When we used to live in the city before our kids, we went to McFit. That is like the cheapest gym membership you can get in Germany, and that was around 20 or 30 euros. But here we have a lot more services included. We have personal training service, we have all the classes you want to do, we have spinning, we have CrossFit, we have a pool in the gym, and additionally, that's really, really cool, we have childcare every single day, not on Sundays, but otherwise from Monday to Saturday, you can always bring your kid and you can do your workout. And I think this is really a great deal, and I never found something like that in Germany. So transportation is a huge amount of money here on our monthly spending. We need 2 cars, and leasing and insurance come around like $580 a month. So it's not possible to live 20 minutes out of the city center where my husband is working all day and I'm working from home, but still I have to drop off the kids and pick up the kids, and you can't survive in this state without a car. So we had to get 2 cars, and it's pretty expensive as a foreigner to get a kind of reasonable priced insurance. It's not possible. So we had to lease cars, and where the insurance was already included. The gas is way cheaper here. So other insurances and fees, like including home rental insurance, pet insurance, or pet food. I didn't include the pet food yet. So I would say like that comes up to $150. The shots for the cat and everything is covered with that. So that's about it. I would say these are the main things we cover per month. Of course, we still have our house in Germany because we are only here for a limited amount of time, and we'll very likely go back in a few years. So we still have to cover the mortgage and the maintenance costs and everything, and the insurance costs in Germany. So that's the moment we are all waiting for. Let's add it all together. So our rent is $3,500. Oldest son entered the public school, so we have $1,000 for childcare. I would write down $850 per month for food, $350 for utilities, $90 for internet and phone, $200 for the kids' activity, $84 for the gym, cars and fuel, $580, other insurances, pet food, cat shots and everything are around $150. Oh, and what I forgot is actually we put aside $500 a month for traveling and for our holidays, and we spend approximately $30 a month on shampoo, shower gel, cosmetics, and stuff like that. And we spend approximately like $600 a year on clothes. We nearly exclusively buy secondhand. All adds up to this amount. It's a lot. I have to say, I didn't expect it to be that much when we moved here, but I can only speak for us. Like, we earn a little bit more here, so it kind of weighs out in comparison to Germany. But still, like, as I already said, with the groceries, sometimes we pay more for a little bit less quality. In other areas, the US are a little bit cheaper, especially when it comes to buying technology. That's our impression here. Like, that's what we experienced over the last year that we lived here. And as I already said, I'm really curious to hear about your experiences with what you spent in the US, and I hope to see you in the next video.